Amen. Okay, praise God.
Amen.
I just want to talk to us briefly on something I caught while I was listening to leadership talks from Sam Adeyemi. I felt it's going to help us, a bit, not a bit, a lot, at Portal and even any business owner. There are just 5 points, and I just call it before you can sell. Yeah, before you can sell. I believe that every man is born to sell, and that's one thing we need to understand. If you are not selling a product, you are selling a service. If you are not selling a service, you are selling yourself. What is selling? Selling is the ability to make known what you have or who you are for people to accept you. In business, when you do that, most of the time, people exchange that acceptance for value. Okay, so they can either give you money back, they can give you time, they can give you any form of other resource. Okay, and that's what we call exchange of value, and that's what we call business. So when we talk about before you can sell, I think it's extremely important that we understand that it's something that is relevant to everybody. And I believe that with time we will share this with our prospective marketers too, because they need to have that orientation, that understanding. And I think as Portal, I really want us to take note of this. With time we'll break it down, not in teaching, but in practice. Because I got those 5 points and I was like, wow, these are powerful. So the first thing, I'm just going to run through the point because we have just few minutes to talk. The first thing is people need to know your business or that your product exists. Or your business, your product, or you exist. Now listen, a lot of times we complain that people are not buying our products, or people are not patronizing us, or people are not calling us for jobs. For example, someone that is looking for a job. Now, people are not going to be able to access your product or buy your product or purchase what you have if they don't know that you exist. So if we look at that properly, that talks about publicity. Yeah, it talks about advertisement. So it's one of the things that we need to really focus on in M-Portal. We need to focus on our imagery. Okay, we need to be able to bring ourselves out to the world. I was talking to a lady, I think I shared with you guys last week, was it? I was talking to a lady that just came to my class. The husband, they just came to my office for one thing or the other, and I was talking to them about M-Portal, the investment, and they were like, oh, is it the same thing someone told me about? I said, yeah. I said, and they said, well, we didn't know, we actually wanted to know about it, and the person said, you can't understand. And I said, oh, so you actually heard about it? They said, yes. And I began to wonder from that point, like, okay, the truth is, if we actually bring this stuff to the public, if we really announce it and make it loud, people will hear and people will come to know about it. I read a write-up. It says that you cannot light a candle until you yourself are on fire. And the truth is, you cannot be on fire and be kept under. Fire burns. So it's the same thing with business. We have M-Portal. How many people don't really know about M-Portal? So in all that we're going to be doing, we need to focus a lot on getting people to know us. Number 2, they need to know what is unique about your product. I've always said this. One thing that I always look for, okay, is excellence. But there are so many excellent things around in the world today. As a matter of fact, not too many products will sell without excellence. So apart from excellence, we need to come to the point of uniqueness. And when you talk about uniqueness is like oneness, something that is one, something that is outstanding, something that is different. All right, so you need to come to a point where what you sell or who you are becomes unique. It becomes like, if it's not this guy, nobody else can do it. Someone came to my class yesterday. It was one of my students in the July session, and he passed his exams. And he came, and of course I was with other students when he came in. So I already talked about him because his friend told me about him. And so immediately he came in, I was like, whoa, congratulations. And everybody was happy. And they said something, listen. The guy said something to the student. He said, you better listen to this guy. He said he is born to be a teacher. He said if he teaches you and you fail, then you might not be able to pass the exam anymore. He said because there is nobody that will be able to teach you and you'll be able to pass. I mean, I felt good about that. But honestly, it's a testimony I always look forward to. And that's why I work on myself. I work on my teaching skills. I work every day, to be better, to be able to impact people better. And I learned that from my father. My father was a lecturer all his life. And we used to say then, even as his children, that if my dad teaches you biology and you don't pass it, you will never be able to pass it in your life. I don't know how that guy does it. It's like he breaks your head and puts stuff in it and seals it back. It's not, no matter how dumb you are, if he teaches you, you get it. That's uniqueness. We have people like that. I have one old man back then in secondary school. We used to call him Baba Maths. Even people that hated mathematics, this guy taught them and they passed mathematics. He's just born to be like that. But the truth is, nobody actually is born to be like that. People develop themselves to that point. And that's one thing we need to focus on in M-Portal. Okay, it's an online store. There are so many online stores. Even back in Nigeria right now, there are so many online stores. There are so many online stores around the world. But what is unique about us? And we know that our online store is to empower people. And then that is what we focus on. So we are not going to focus on what every other person is focusing on. You should focus on your uniqueness. So you need to know what is unique about yourself as a person. When you realize that, when you know that, you focus on that, because that is your strength. A lot of people focus on their weakness. They want to, work on their weakness to become strong. It's good. But if I have to choose, all right, I'm just saying, I work on my weakness too, but if I have to choose between working on my weaknesses and working on my strength, all right, renewing my strength and getting better at it, honestly, I would choose my strength. Because there is a way that what you are weak at, someone else might be able to cover up for you. And that's why we're a team. The truth is, I'm not good in everything. Like what Chichi is doing, honestly speaking, well, I used to be a secretary all my life. I know how to write minutes and all, but this guy is good. I mean, I don't like writing anymore. All right, I'm an author, but I don't really like writing anymore. Maybe type and all, but to come down, write minutes, do accounting and all, this guy is good at it. So if I'm weak at that, I will not try to struggle to be better. Now, I will try not to be weaker, but I will not try to, come up to his level, because he is already covering for me. Now, the same thing we need to understand in business. There are some businesses we will meet in Nigeria. We don't need to compete with them because they're already doing that. Now, we might try to keep up, all right? But honestly speaking, if they are so good at it, we should just partner with them. That's my own principle in life. That you see that I love to partner a lot. I partner with you if I know that, man, you are good at this. For example, we are an online store and we see a company that produces, let's say, farm products, and it's cheap. Instead of us to start building our own farms, why don't we buy from him and resell? And then we focus on our uniqueness, because it's our uniqueness that will make people buy from us, and they will not buy from him. Okay, so we strengthen more our own uniqueness, and then you see that people buy your product. So before you start selling, number one, people need to know who you are and where you are and what you do, and then they need to know the uniqueness of what you're doing. Number three, you need to manage successfully your finances. That's extremely important. There are so many terminologies. I think we are doing good at that in this organization. Every day we learn new things: invoice, income, expenditure, carryover, brought over, credit, debit. All those things we need to know. If you want to be successful in life, if you want to be successful in business, you must learn to manage your resources, even as individuals, not just business. As individuals, as a minister, in ministry, in anything you do, even in your personal life. If you are unable to manage your resources, especially your finances, honestly, you won't be able to run far. You won't be able to run far. So one thing we need to concentrate on is managing our resources and finances. I mean, one thing we will do at M-Portal, which we are getting at, is to be plain. I love when your account is so plain, anybody can see it. I love running organizations like that. If we become multi-billionaires, that equal. It doesn't matter. If anybody is angry about that, let them be angry about that. But we will not hide it. I mean, I know a lot of people hide their wealth. Right? I don't want to know how wealthy. I don't want them to know how wealthy I am. I don't care. It's not about the wealth. It's about providing the service. So if it's not about the wealth, then make it open. let it be plain to every member of the team. Let everybody know. It's no secret. If we are doing good, we know. If we are not doing good, we know. But the most important thing is we manage what we have. So the third thing is you have to manage successfully your finances. And second to the last is you must have a winning strategy. And I think that is where I want us to concentrate more. What is our winning strategy? And listen to me, I used to say to people, business is extremely dynamic. That's why I love business. I mean, I know many of us, we are working now. Where you work, how many times have they really changed what you do? Not so many times. You go to the office, you do almost the same thing. I've been doing the same thing now for about 4 years. I mean, I can even do it while sleeping. I don't like that. But business is not like that, thanks to God. And life is not like that. Life is dynamic, business is extremely dynamic. Now, so if it's dynamic, then your winning strategy must also be dynamic. Because what is winning today might not be what will win tomorrow. Barcelona used to win with the tiki-taka. It got to a point everybody knew their game. They allowed them to do the tiki-taka, they wait for them before they get to the goal, because they know they won't shoot from outside the box. They want to dribble into the box. And then they block the box. And then you see them playing round and round. And then they have like 90% ball possession. No goals. He wasn't winning again. It was a good strategy. It used to win, but it's no longer winning. And you must be as dynamic as that, when you are in business or in life. There are so many times that we had plans. I mean, I had plans when I was growing up. I knew what I wanted to do, work this, do that. But things were not working out. I mean, there was a time in my life I said, I will never ever in my life work for somebody. And I was following that path. I mean, when I finished university, I wasn't working for anybody. Started my own business. I was doing good, but things fell apart. Things went wrong. I left Nigeria, came over here. You can't start business in Europe just like that. I mean, there are so many things you have to do. You have to work for people. So I had to be dynamic about life. And that is extremely important in business. If your strategy is no longer winning, you have to be able to change it. But before you start changing strategies, what is your winning strategy? Everybody needs to be able to understand that, because that is what propels inspiration. That is what brings new ideologies, new ideas. If people don't understand the winning strategy, or your selling strategy in the business, it will be very difficult for people to follow along. You just see different ideas falling apart. But if everybody understands the winning strategy, hey guys, this is what we want to sell, this is how we're going to sell it, and this is how we want to approach it, then you see that new ideas come. When challenges come, we know how to tackle it because we know our goal. And lastly, you need to sell well. Everything it's going to take, you need to sell well. Because before you start selling, you have to sell well. How do I mean? My pastor used to say something when we were in the university. He would say, you need to see, if you see it, before you see it, you will eventually see it. I mean, what it means is, you need to see it in the spirit, understand it in the spirit, play it out in the spirit. If you do that before you see it physically, then you will eventually see it. Because it is what you have in your mind that becomes you. The Bible says that as a man thinketh, so is he. So it's the same thing in business. If you have your strategy ready, then you should be able to sell yourself or your product even before you meet your clients. How do you do that? You need to play it back in your mind. You need to be able to sell to someone. Okay, what do I say? What if he says this? How do I counter it? What if he asks this question? What is the answer I'll give? So you get to the marketplace. You see some people come to the marketplace and they start talking blah 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 blah. Before you know it, they convince you. Because they've already, and then you ask questions, they answer you, and you're like, you have actually prepared you prepared your answers. Of course, that is his business, because he has already sold before coming to you. And that's how I do my things. If I know that I will not be able to sell to you, I won't even come to you. But mind you, trust me, if I come to you with a product or a service, my brother, except you don't need it, you will buy it. You will buy it, because before I came to you, I've sold to you. So that is the mindset I have, and that is the mindset I want us to have at M Portal. For our marketers, that is the mindset I want them to have. When you are approaching somebody, you are approaching them because you already sold it. So it's just like you are handling it to them. What is this? Now, you bought this already. Just hold it and let me tell you about it. That's my approach. Hold it and let me tell you about it, because this is yours. You need it. That's why I'm giving it to you. This will do this, this will do that. I don't think I need it. I'm telling you, you need it. Because I know you, I've studied you, I've seen what you've been buying, but this is what you need. It's a different approach when you go and go, hey, please, I don't know if you will like this thing. No, I won't like it. Because how will you be asking me for? No, I won't like it. That's the first thing I go at. Because human beings, we are self-protective. That's the first thing. I mean, when you go to someone, I don't know if you will like this. No, I won't like it. That's not the approach. The approach is, I know you will love this. How do you know? Because I know already. Hold it, feel it, test it. You see all these evil guys, they know how to do that. You enter a shop. Once you even enter the market, they start pulling you. My brother, I get your shirt. See, with this your body, take this one, put it. But my brother, it's tight. No, if you put it like this, before you know, you will buy that shirt. Except you are not buying shirts. But before you know, you must buy from them. Why? Because they already sold it. That is selling well. So we need to approach business in that way, and I pray God will help us in Jesus' name. So these 5 things are extremely important for us, especially in Portal, in our daily lives, and even in anything we do. Number 1, we need to be able to tell people who we are, what we have, and where we are. Number 2, people should be able to know what is unique about our product. Please note that it's extremely important. It's the people that should know what is unique about your product. That's how you can sell. A lot of times we know what is unique about our product, but because we cannot relate it to people. Remember when we started the investment plan, what was people saying? They said, another MMM, but we knew that this is not MMM. This is a secured investment. And then we made people to realize that. That was when they started buying into it. But at first, all the people I told were like, no. But when they saw that, okay, this is different, they saw the uniqueness, then they go like, okay, I'll do. So it's possible that you know the uniqueness and people don't know it, but to sell well, you must make people know the uniqueness of your product. Number 3, you must manage successfully your finances. Number 4, you must have a winning strategy and be ready to change in the dynamism of the market. And lastly, you must sell well. You must sell before you sell, and eventually you would have sold it. I pray God will help us in Jesus' name. Next week we'll have another talk. I believe someone else will be giving us a good talk on business and business strategies, and well, just to motivate one another. And for those that are watching from home, I hope you enjoy this. You can share the video, and then we'll get back to you again next time on Top Salt. God bless you.
God bless you.